Good evening, Rajiv sir, and thank you so very
Good
much
evening.
for sparing time with me this evening, sir. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for this.
Yes. Sir, how are you passing your days during this lockdown?
These are very difficult times for which, as you can understand, so lockdown means can't go out of your house. But being an advocate general, I have certain obligations
Right,
which I have to fulfill. So I am holding video conferencing cases. Public interest litigations are being heard by the High Court,
right, sir.
and almost every day, every alternate day, some cases are listed.
True.
So I'm doing it from my house, but it is actually a very challenging and difficult job because I have to seek information from various sources
Right,
without going out of the house,
right, sir.
without your assistance of your clerk or your junior or anybody.
True. So,
So
so
we are all getting accustomed to the new system.
correct. So, how difficult it is now for you to, sir, adopt this entire new system, which we have never been, no one has been used to this.
It's very difficult, but it's a challenge. Now we have to get accustomed to the video conference because it's going to stay now for a very long time. And in a very different form, it will continue in the litigation process also.
True. And, sir, your state has been doing excellent in controlling the pandemic situation.
Yeah, thank you, Purvis, for the compliment.
And
It has been able to contain it.
true, sir. True.
Our state, we only have two containment zones in Ranchi, one in Ranchi and another in Bokaro. A
Right.
total of around 60 cases only.
True. Very true. So, sir, how was Rajiv sir during his childhood days?
And as a childhood, in fact, I have studied throughout in Jawahar Vidya Mandir Shamli,
Mm-hmm.
where you may have heard your name of MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni is also from the same school,
Acha.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yes, sir.
So I have done all my siblings, my sister, my brothers, all have studied from the same school.
Mm-hmm.
After my plus two,
Yes.
I came to Delhi for my graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Did my honors in chemistry from Ramjas College, Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
And I crossed the road and joined Campus Law Center there
Right.
after my graduation.
Right, sir.
Then I completed my law from there, and for 6 months I was there in Delhi High Court for very small time.
Right, sir.
And then there, after came back to Ranchi, and Ranchi I joined. It was a bench of Patna High Court,
Mm-hmm.
9495.
Mm.
So it used to be a part of Patna High Court as a Ranchi bench, Patna High Court Ranchi bench.
Right, sir.
So I started my practice from here. In 2000, the state was bifurcated. Bihar was bifurcated into two successor states of Bihar and Jharkhand.
Right.
From 1st November 2000, it became an independent high court,
Right, sir.
Jharkhand High Court.
Right.
So I have been practicing now from 1994.
Right. Sir, whom have you started your practice with?
Purvesh, initially when I had joined Patna High Court Ranchi bench,
Yes, sir.
I had joined with Senior Standing Counsel, Central Government, Mr. A.K. Trivedi,
Okay.
as a junior assistant counsel to him.
Uh-huh.
So I had a lot of exposure in central government matters, but I was there with him for only one year. Thereafter, I joined Mr. P.K. Sinha, Pralay Kumar Sinha. He's a senior advocate here, and he was practicing on the labor side and constitutional matters.
Right.
So thereafter, I joined him in '96.
Right.
And thereafter, actually, I began my learning process. I owe a lot of my goodwill and image, everything to him.
Right.
I've learned a lot from him.
So, what are the qualities, sir, that you have adopted from your senior, sir? What are the best qualities that you carry on till date?
See, the first time when I joined him, I didn't have any legal background in my family.
Right.
There was no one in the family, immediate family, who was in the legal profession. So for me, it was a very startup profession for me. and my senior helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He used to, in fact, love me very much.
Mm-hmm.
That I come from Delhi University, I had done a very good law, so and my diction was good. All these things he used to appreciate.
Right.
And one good thing that I learned from him is labor.
Oh, right.
There is no substitute to labor.
Right.
He used to work on every brief as if he is a student appearing for an examination.
Oh,
Just
right.
like a student appears for an examination,
Mm-hmm.
person having examination blues
Mm.
and everything that goes in the process.
Right, sir.
Used to take up every brief like that.
Right.
There were no computers at that time,
Mm.
so research was confined to digest and then your own memory about your principles, doctrines of law.
Mm.
So the kind of research that he used to do in every case actually prompted me to put in so much of labor in every case and how to start a research.
Right.
I learned a lot from him. So how and what is the basis and where you should find something to prepare a case. Research, basically.
Right, sir. Sir, that is where your senior actually pampered you and groomed you. Sir, was there any instance from your senior when you have been badly scolded?
Let me tell you very, incidentally, one incident.
Yes, sir.
My senior had a very bad temper, and he was known for his bad temper in the High Court.
Right, sir.
He used to throw briefs, on the face of the client like this.
Right.
And one very good thing which happened is that he had an earlier junior also. So whenever he was upset with me, he used to scold his earlier junior. So therefore, I used to become very afraid and very cautious, and I used to start my work more seriously. So that was a method adopted by him to reprimand me by scolding another person and conveying the idea and the message.
Right, sir. Sir, when have you started your independent practice and how difficult was it for you to settle independently?
See, after 3 years of my initial days, and even while I was being with my senior, I had my independent briefs and he had given me the liberty to do all my cases independently also. I used to handle a lot of trade union matters initially.
Right, sir.
In Jharkhand, these colliery areas, a lot of trade unions were there. And because of industrial township of Bokaro and Jamshedpur and Dhanbad and Ghatsila, so labor dispute, a lot of industrial cases were there in Jharkhand earlier, in Ranchi. And I used to do a lot of industrial disputes matter and trade union matters.
Right.
That gave me the idea of studying the entire industrial jurisprudence from the very beginning.
Right.
And all the laws associated with the company law and the industrial law.
Right, sir. When have you appeared before the court for the first time independently?
Actually, when I had joined the practice, when I was with the Central Government Standing Council,
yes, sir.
There was a case of Chas Nala. There was a flooding in the mines and 400 people had died. On that basis, you must have seen that movie Kala Patthar.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Amitabh Bachchan and
yes,
all.
Sir. Yes, sir.
That Kala Patthar movie, a Bollywood movie, was made on that incident. That Chas Nala incident,
right.
Where because of damage to a nearby lake and dam, the water had flooded into the underground mines.
Right, sir.
Water seeped into the underground mines of coal,
right,
and
sir.
400 people had died. So criminal prosecutions were launched sometime in 86 somewhere. Sometimes. But
right.
I joined in 94, 95, the criminal quashing applications had matured. So I was appearing for the central government, the Director General of Mine Safety, in a criminal quashing application. So that was my first exposure, because my senior was not available on that day, and he left brief on me.
Right.
And it was a very, very big case, and the court reprimanded me because the court was seeing me for the first time.
Right.
And it was a very big case, and very big senior and reputed persons were appearing from the petitioner side. So court was very conscious of this fact that they will not be getting a good assistance from the central government. But then that wasn't a positive for me. Court allowed me to start on a condition that if I do not satisfy, then my seniors' empanelment in the central government will be gone.
Right.
The court will recommend cancellation of the panelment. But that was a risk I had to take because my senior was not available. And it was a very jam-packed court and I was very nervous. But I did prepare the case and I studied on it for 2 days. And I appeared and argued on behalf of the government for almost half of the day. And the court was so impressed. On the very first day of that was the 4th or 5th day of my appearance in the High Court.
Right.
And then court recorded in its order the first paragraph about me alone. That a very able assistance was given by the junior counsel appearing for so and so, so and so. Right. That was a very big moral boasting for me.
Right, sir.
And thereafter, it was a very small bench because only 4 or 5 judges were there in Ranchi bench.
Right.
So I became an instant hit at that time.
Right.
That a new boy has come in a small market, you know. So that is how things developed.
Right.
It was one of my first case.
Sir, any specific matter that has changed your attitude in the profession?
See, I tell you, I started in 94, 95. Then I was doing this trade union matters, labor matters, mostly on the behalf of the laborers. And I did, in fact, take up so many cases at that time. But gradually, you know, on 1st November 2000, when Jharkhand became a state, and we had an independent High Court, and we got an independent Chief Justice. So there was a policy decision by the then in 2002, issue of domicile cropped up. There was a circular on the Jharkhand that only people who have land records of 1932 would be considered a domicile of the state. So the case was filed against that policy in 2002. There were a lot of riots within Ranchi and in entire Jharkhand. There was a lot of turbulence because of that policy. I was engaged by a fellow advocate who had filed the case on his name. One Prashant Vidyarthi, who was my colleague, a junior colleague, he engaged me to argue the case. So when we mentioned the case, the court, by looking at the importance of the matter and in view of the fact that the entire state was burning at that time, a lot many riots and a lot many people had died because of the riots. So it considered a special bench of 5 judges for that case. And then the state government engaged, apart from the Advocate General, Mr. P.P. Rao as a senior counsel from Delhi.
Right.
And Jayant Mitra and other senior counsels, and Mr. Bhattacharjee, who later on became the Rajya Sabha MP also from West Bengal. They all used to come from Calcutta. So a posse of lawyers from one side, 4 or 5, 6 seniors were appearing for the state and the other side. And I was alone appearing for the petitioner. And that too before a special bench of 5 judges. I had never had the occasion of appearing even before a full court of 3 judges. That was in 2002. And that was a very, very famous case. And a very burning issue for the state, a new state, which was only born around 1.5 to 2 years ago. So that case was given a lot of publicity. Every day, what I had said, what the court had observed, what the other party said, used to be reported in the newspapers very widely. That continued for almost 10-15 days. The entire arguments were continued. And finally, I won that case. judgment came in my favor. And it was a deciding moment for Jharkhand. It was a deciding moment for my career also. I became instantly known throughout Jharkhand. And it also propelled my career to some extent, I can say. And it was a defining moment for my career.
Right, sir. Sir, how do you prepare a matter? What is the method that you adopt?
See, there is no fixed rule for this, you can understand.
Yes, sir.
Once you get a case, you have to collect the facts first. All the facts which in relation to the case has to be collected, collated. Then you start framing issues on it. What are the legal issues on which you can substantiate and to substantiate your facts, substantiate your prayers. Then legal issues are framed. Then you begin searching for the law on that issue, on the legal issues. Then the principles of law which will back your arguments. And then the judicial precedents, if any, on the subject. So these are the three parameters usually I take up in every case. And that is how I have prepared all my cases like this.
Right, sir. Sir, what changes you propose in the present legal education system prevailing?
See, legal education system, when I joined Campus Law Center, it had a very good system of legal education. It was not a book or the statute-based education. It was a case-based study, case study-based education. So case studies were given to us. And in that, while the classroom used to be divided into two segments, one for the petitioner and another for the respondents. And we used to prepare our cases based upon the case study, case fact given to us. And then we used to discuss law. That is how we used to understand the law of evidence or penal code or whatever different subjects. That was a very unique concept of study,
yes,
which was prevalent in our Delhi University at that time. It still exists, and it was one of the premier institutes of the country.
Right.
But over the years, what I have felt is that is so much of change in law, dynamics. Law is dynamic, and every time, every 6 months, it changes. Over the years, technology has come in the legal field in a very large way. It has changed the concept of doing research. It has changed the concept of preparation of a case. It has made many books, research papers accessible to even most junior person in the profession, or even clients also. Many data and resources are available at your fingertip.
Right, sir.
So now we have to integrate that new technology and the database available under the new technology into our classical system of education of law. We have to integrate that, and we have to inculcate the technology in a big way.
Right.
We cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore it. Technology is here to stay, and it is going to change the entire course of legal education and the judicial system in a big way in the coming days.
Right, sir. Sir, nowadays the students who are actually coming out from the law courses and joining the profession, they usually see to it that they join high courts or a Supreme Court from their beginning of the career. How much do you advise them to join high court or a Supreme Court from initial stage?
Purvish, I had in a very short span of my legal career, I have had the occasion to don various posts also. I have been Additional Advocate General. I have been the Chairman of the Bar Council also, full term for 5 years. Yes. Now I am the Advocate General. So I can tell you that people, good quality people, are actually joining the legal education. We did not have in fact these institutions of national law schools at that time. It is a very good concept that every state now has a national law college. And but what I find, actually, I did a lot of research when I was in Bar Council as a chairman, that people who are graduating from good colleges like national law schools are actually not joining the profession.
True, very true. They go by.
Most of them try to adopt the softer routes. the shortcut route of getting employment, a corporate job, law profession, legal firm employment, all those kind of things. And most of them are actually not ready for coming in the profession right away. Number one. Number two, see, in a remotest corner of the state, Jharkhand is not a very advanced state. You can speak about the same thing for other states also, like Bihar and Madhya Pradesh and other states, where we have 27 districts. And every district has a civil court. Every civil court has a lawyer, an association of lawyers. Lawyers are an integral part of the system of judicial dispensation system.
True.
So therefore, a lawyer has to be updated in law. He has to be updated, and he has to be a good quality lawyer to give a good assistance, good quality assistance to the courts.
Correct.
Now, people from good colleges are not joining in Ranchi. Let us say Ranchi being the capital and the seat of this Jharkhand High Court. They are not joining Jharkhand High Court. So they will much lesser number of people are joining in the remotest corner in the districts.
True, sir.
The people graduating from smaller colleges or lesser known colleges, not very in fact well recognized for quality education, are joining the legal profession in the districts.
True, sir. Very true.
So we have to in fact understand the situation in the entire scenario of the country. That most of the lawyers are not from national lawyer schools who are in the litigation field. Maybe in Supreme Court or in the High Court, 10-20% maybe from the national lawyer schools.
No,
but in the district courts, nobody from national lawyer schools or a good Jindal school or a good quality legal education institution, they are not joining there in the districts.
Right.
But they are the basis of our entire judicial system.
True.
All the cases originate from there.
True, sir.
So the only answer to it, we should thank all these other multifarious, in fact, system of education prevalent in our country. Every college and every institution is actually rendering some good service by actually educating and preparing students to come in the profession. And we should thank them for that. But thereafter, what we are lacking is, the continuing legal education, Professor Madhav Menon had given this concept of a continuing legal education. Even if a person has joined the profession from whatever college or institution he has passed, that is passed. Once he joins the profession, there should be a continuing legal education concept for him. Every level, just like a magistrate or a judge gets a judicial training
Correct.
in judicial academy for the change in law, development in law, technology in law, we should give and impart the same system of education to our young advocates also.
Right, sir. I think, sir, this advice will go a long way. Definitely. Yes, sir.
This will sustain their interest in the profession, number one.
Yes.
It will improve the quality of service that they are rendering to the courts in a very marked way.
Right.
And that is a concept which we have to bring in this entire system in a very large way. It is happening in bits and pieces, but we have to integrate it nationally also.
True, sir. True. And I think this advice will go a long way, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, I want to share one thing on this, because even this is the issue which I have been asking to other senior advocates as well. And you have the one by you yourself has come up with the issue that the students from the good law colleges are not joining the profession, and they actually go to the corporate or law firms. So the basic reason which I could, because I am also teaching in one of the college in Noida, a very renowned college, and the reason behind the students actually avail for such a shortcut is because by the time they clear 5 years, they would have spent not less than 40-50 lakhs for their studies. The education fees is very high, and after spending them again, if they come down to the profession, which is deemed to be very cruel for the generation who joins newly, and no one would be actually willing to have that bear that cruelty for themselves, and therefore they would rather prefer to go for the law firms or corporate side. So what would be what would you advise to them, to such a brilliant child, who is now will be joining the law firms or corporate for the purpose of not waiting to overcome the waiting period in the profession? What advice you give them, sir?
See, as a bar council chairman,
Yes, sir.
I had involved a scheme
Hmm.
to give a stipend for young advocates for the first 3 years of their practice
Yes, sir. Okay.
from our bar council funds.
Excellent.
So that is it's a very paltry sum, not very a big amount, but still is an amount where by which at least they can,
Yeah.
in fact, take care of their day-to-day expenses at least.
Right, sir.
That apart,
Hmm.
every bright child who graduates from a very good institution
Hmm.
is also a very prospective,
Hmm.
bright lawyer.
True.
Would be bright lawyer,
True.
would be a famous lawyer.
True.
So lawyer is legal profession. It's a profession. It's not an employment.
True.
So a person has to understand it in that way
Hmm.
that once the profession is strengthened
Hmm.
by good people coming into the system,
Hmm.
then system will always pay back.
Hmm.
It takes time to get acclimatized to the situation,
Hmm.
and then the sky is the limit.
Very true.
I had joined the profession. I had done my chemistry honors from Delhi University.
Hmm.
I had joined MSc.
Hmm.
Then I did law from Campus Law Center.
Hmm.
Then I came back to Ranchi,
Hmm.
had a great fall, and I was very depressed for a couple of years. That what will happen?
Hmm.
But then that choice has to be taken.
Right.
That decision has to be taken somewhere, and the gestation period of 2 or 3 years has to be undergone.
Right.
That will also strengthen the quality of a lawyer in future and prepare him for a good career.
Right, sir. I hope that the coming generation take your advice and join the profession. Thank you very much, sir.
And one very important aspect about Purvis is
Yes, sir.
that good people in the corporate field, in other law firms and other things,
Yes.
actually sounds very good,
Right.
But actually, the entire backbone of the entire judicial system, where judges are also elevated from the same profession,
True.
profession has to be very strong.
Correct.
And for that, profession has to be qualitatively very strong.
Right, sir.
And if we cannot, if the quality of the profession goes down, then the quality of the judges also goes down.
True.
So it kills and cripples the entire system.
Very right, sir.
As well.
Very right. Sir, whom do you consider to be your mentor or idol, sir, in your life, in the legal profession?
See, from my initial days also, my senior was a mentor for me. Then I had the occasion to deal, in fact, to appear before so many good judges. Justice Mukhopadhyay was there. Justice S.J. Mukhopadhyay was in Jharkhand. Justice Iqbal, then Justice Altamas Kabir. So all these good and, in fact, important, prominent judges were there in our high courts. So everybody had their own perspective of law.
Right.
And everybody's perspective of law actually is an insight into your thinking process.
True.
So it gives you an insight. That is how you learn. So kind of that, in fact, was a very guiding force for me. I used to learn something from everybody.
Right, sir.
Everybody has a different perspective of a way of thinking and a different, in fact, concept of law, concept of thinking, developing a law.
Correct.
That has everybody's view is different.
True.
So you have to understand why he is thinking, why a person is thinking that way, why another person is thinking another way. You have to evolve your own process, and you have to learn from them, from all of them.
Right, sir. So, what are your hobbies other than profession, and how do you take time to pursue that hobbies?
See, I used to play golf,
Yes, sir.
but then apart from that, in my profession, when I had joined the profession, two questions were given to me by my senior. I was asked a question, who is your wife? I said, I have recently married, so and so is my wife. The senior lawyer said, no. The only wife that you have is have any time except after you are a busy lawyer. You have no time for any other hobbies, I think.
Right. Sir, any message that you would like to give to the legal fraternity as a whole?
I would only give to the young lawyers that this is a very great profession, and sky is the limit, I can tell you. But thing is that it is the path is very difficult path. Maybe 1 out of 10 actually succeed and achieve what they wanted. But then the profession is such that it gives ample opportunities to everybody to perform, and then everybody has a level playing field. And this is actually a profession where you can test your skills, you can do your you can perform comparatively and competitively with regard to others. And actually when it starts paying, nothing like it.
Right. Thank you so very much, sir. Raju sir, thank you very much for spending time with me.
Thank you, Professor.
Taking
Nice
time
meeting you.
out of your busy schedule. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Once